Oh, ho. Oh, wow. What a day. Can we go to quick 950 to ensure Trump doesn't invade any allies? That's all you need is 950? Easy. Don't worry, I got your back. I got your back. Greenland. TGG in New York City community meetup. Really? Why'd you ghost Dr. Mike? Definitely IG is the best way to reach out to me. I've DM'd him before, so if you can ask him to DM me back, we can get it going. What? Nope. Maybe he DM'd another Destiny? There you go. Any thoughts on the Pisco versus Drew debate? I didn't see it. Link me.
It's not a cheese grater.
It hasn't happened yet. Well, then how the fuck am I supposed to have an opinion on it? Oh shit, that sounds like Hotel California? What?
I don't mind that stuff. I don't mind him saying that he's gonna, you know, we could buy Greenland and then try to do whatever he's gonna try to do. And there must be enormous natural resources there. And
there are.
And his donors must be pushing him to buy it. Like,
oh my God. Infinity. I'm clicking this, and I was about to say, you have like a 55-second clip. Where's the fucking source? And look at that. Look at him right here. Links the original YouTube video it came from. My God.
I remember Trump.
Oof. Didn't timestamp it though. That's a permaban. No, I'm just kidding.
Keep everything on the table. He'll threaten X, Y, and nuke. I don't mind. Would be mental. And so there's a couple of different reasons why Trump.
Oh, this whole video is about this. Oh boy. Let's hear it, Jank.
I remember Trump mentioning that he wanted to take over Greenland during his first term, and he hasn't dropped that issue.
Can you assure the world that as you try to get control of these areas, you are not going to use military or economic coercion?
No.
And can you tell us a little bit about what your plan is? Are you going to negotiate a new treaty? Are you going to ask the Canadians to hold a vote? What is the strategy?
Yeah, I can't assure you. You're talking about Panama and Greenland. No, I can't assure you on either of those two. I'm not going to commit to that now. It might be that you'll have to do something.
During a press conference today, President-elect Donald Trump made clear that he is not ruling out either economic pressure or potential military use in order to take over Greenland and the Panama Canal. Now, for the purposes of this discussion, since we have limited time, let's focus on his obsession.
When does Anna join the Young Turks? Anybody know? Around like 2010. Oh, Jesus. Have you seen how normalized the idea of taking over territories is on Twitter with memes and jokes? Yeah, it's pretty scary because the jump to reality is pretty quick.
I can't pretend like I'm some robot that it's just really, really important. It's always neutral. I need to share my opinion and
I don't think I can say what I want to say. I don't think I'm allowed to. Never mind.
With taking over Greenland. it's something that he's been talking about since his first term, and the right wing is also really hyping this policy or potential policy up. So here's what you need to know about this whole Greenland saga. So yesterday, Trump posted on social media, "I am hearing that the people of Greenland are MAGA. My son, Don Jr., and various representatives will be traveling there to visit some of the most magnificent areas and sites. Greenland is an incredible place, and the people will benefit tremendously if..."
Destiny, I think this is one of the reasons for Trump wanting Greenland, possible trade routes. He did say one reason was to attract the Chinese. I don't understand why you guys are wasting time steelmanning this. We don't need to own Greenland for any of that. They're a U.S. ally. I don't know why you say that. I don't understand what that means. Like, this is the equivalent to like raping your wife, and somebody's like, "Why the fuck would you do that?" I'm like, well, we really wanted to have kids. Don't you guys have like consensual sex normally? Yeah. Like, I don't know why you're saying like, "Oh, well, the reason is because we're concerned about what happens around Greenland." It's a U.S. ally. I don't know. I don't need that. Actually, wait, who posted that in chat? Hold on. It's actually such an unbelievably stupid point. I don't know why you would even post it. I don't know. I don't even know what the point is of that mental exercise of like, well, it's because there's a concern. It's an ally.
And when it becomes part of our nation, we will protect it and cherish it from a very vicious outside world. Make Greenland great again. Okay. And then today, Don Jr., along with Charlie Kirk, visited Greenland. I want to be clear that it was not an official trip. They weren't invited there by government officials or anything like that. They just decided to go there during their private time and tour Greenland. But Don Jr. did say that he is not intending to meet with any governmental officials. It was more of like a photo op than anything else, to be quite frank. So what would we gain if we theoretically acquired Greenland? Well, we're going to get to that in just a minute. But before we do, look, Jake, I personally don't think that Trump is really going to use our military. Like, we're not going to use military force to take over Greenland. That would be insane. And that would, I mean, it would just not be a good idea, in my opinion. But this is what Trump does. He doesn't want to rule out any options. And so when he says economic pressure, I'm not entirely sure what he means by that either. But what are your thoughts about what he's saying here?
Yeah.
I don't understand why Trump is allowed. Well, let me stop saying I don't understand. It's not okay for somebody to be allowed to say or do anything because this is part of the lack of accountability measures. It can't be the case that somebody just can say or do whatever they want, and then it doesn't matter because it was a meme or it was a whatever. Like that can't be the case. The world doesn't function that way for a few reasons. Either one, the person's words become meaningless because now they're just saying shit. This is one of the big deals of the red line with Obama, right? That there was a red line. I don't even remember what the fuck the red line was for. It was for Syrian chemical weapons attacks, right? And then it happened, and he didn't do fuck all about it, and it seriously undermines like U.S. foreign policy. It undermines Obama. It undermines everything. You can't just say random shit all the time. Like, oh, you know, it's just a tactic. What is the tactic? It is a tactic, but it's not a negotiating tactic. It's a tactic to avoid accountability. That's not good.
So, first of all, obviously, invading Greenland would be mental. And so there's a couple of different reasons why Trump is saying this. Number one, he loves bluster. He loves it for the sake of bluster, but he also likes it as a negotiating tactic. So
there are allies. There are allies. This doesn't make any sense. You don't do this. I don't understand. If Lena was here and I was like, I really want to go out to eat at Applebee's tonight. And she was like, I'm not in the mood. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to throw honey out the window. I'm not actually going to do that. That's just a negotiating tactic. Why would I negotiate like that? Why would you do that? Why would you say that? That you can't just like explain using descriptive language and we all just like pretend it's a normal or okay thing. That doesn't make any sense. That's just not an okay thing. Yesterday, I had to replace the brake pads on my Focus, and they told me I needed new rotors too. And I said I wanted the rotors, but I didn't want to pay extra for it. And when they said, well, I mean, we have to charge you, obviously. I broke out my Glock, and I said that if they didn't do it for free, I was going to kill him and his entire family. But it was just a negotiating tactic.
He'll keep everything on the table. He'll threaten X, Y, and Z, and then try to make a deal. Now, he's almost always bluffing. So at some
another issue with this as well, and we can draw historical parallels here, is there's a word for this. There's a word for this. I don't know if it's an official foreign policy word, but I've seen it written. There's a word for this. And the word is brinksmanship, where arguably, without getting all into the history, Israel started off the Six-Day War on June 4th, 5th of 1967 with a surprise attack against Egypt. And a lot of that was probably driven on by the Egyptian leader's rhetoric about destroying Israel. Now, did he really feel like he could destroy Israel? No, he couldn't, because he just exhausted his entire fucking army fighting some retarded war in Yemen, okay? 60 years ago. Some things never change. But he told his people that he would fuck them up. And the reason why you say these things is because it appeases your population, and it allows you to kind of get credit for an action that you're not willing to take. But that's a form of brinksmanship, because the problem with it is nobody knows when you're being serious or not. Nobody knows when you're actually about to do a thing. And so some people might act like they think that there's a higher probability of you doing the thing than there actually is. And that's a problem. And now you've got it to where Trump might say some outlandish, retarded shit, say about like the United Kingdom, and then all of a sudden the UK is like, we just joined BRICS. And it's like, oh shit. Oh, that's not good. Wait a second. And you can't walk back. You can't, the whole point of brinksmanship is you can't go back from it. You need to have some huge resetting event. Yeah, this is just not good. Police use the threat of force. What's the difference? You expect the police to follow through with the force every time. The police are not using force to negotiate with you. They're using that, well, they kind of are, but you know the force is coming. That's not, the police aren't playing brinksmanship with you. The police are going to shoot and kill you if you don't follow their orders, ultimately.
he'll threaten X, Y, and Z, and then try to make a deal. Now, he's almost always bluffing. So at some point, the world's going to figure that out. And then I'm a little afraid what happens when one of his bluffs get called. But this is not a serious one. So like,
oh, no. So he even knows, he said it in fewer words, but that's essentially what I'm saying. Yeah, that's not good.
figure that out. And then I'm a little afraid what happens when one of his bluffs get called. But this is not a serious one. So like, if your bluff gets called on Iran and you threaten to nuke them and then you nuke them, oh, Jesus Christ, that's horrific, right?
It's also horrific if you don't nuke them. That's the problem with bluffing, is if you follow through with a crazy bluff, now you're insane and everybody looks like you're at you like you're an insane person. But if you don't follow through on it, now you have no credibility. It's not good.
But on Greenland, we're not going to nuke them. We're going to invade them. That's mental. But look, have we bought territory before? Yeah, of course. We bought Alaska. We had Louisiana Purchase. Those are a different time, obviously. And the leader of Greenland has said many times that he's not interested in getting taken over by America.
I don't even know why you would make that comparison ever. I don't understand why you would do that. Like, imagine if behind me I had Abba and Preach chained up in my kitchen to, cook food for me. And people are like, what's going on? It's like, I don't know. We've had slavery before and stuff. And yeah, it was a different time. But like, why would you even, like, what is the thought process in your mind to chain these words together that...
Different time, obviously. Have we bought territory before? Yeah, of course. We bought Alaska. We had Louisiana Purchase.
Like, why would you... Like, what would even be the thought process to connect these ideas in your mind? The Louisiana Purchase with the 2024 purchase of Greenland? This is just an unbelievable... I don't understand what in your mind is even causing you to connect these things together, other than some incredibly superficial similarities.
Those are a different time, obviously. And the leader of Greenland has said many times that he's not interested in getting taken over by America. But like, I don't mind that stuff. I don't mind him saying that he's gonna, we could buy Greenland and then try to do whatever he's gonna try to do. And there must be enormous natural resources there. And,
There are.
And his donors must be pushing him to buy.
The donors, again, how long would it even be before extracting those resources would be probable, if that even was the case? If they're even in an area where it's easy to extract, and if we, like, question, do you have any advice for how to deal with friends who have drank the Kool-Aid? I'm finding it impossible to have conversations with close friends who are thoroughly brainwashed. I don't know, my friend. Good luck.
Buy it.
They are.
Yeah, and so that's why he's doing it, because he didn't, like, on the campaign trail, he promised anti-war, he promised immigration, he promised, some things on crime, and certainly the economy. Did he promise buying or invading Greenland? No, he's doing a lot of things in the beginning that he didn't promise at all to his voters. It's things he promised to his donors. The last thing on it, Anna, is that generally speaking, it's a little jingoistic, and his base does love that. So it's not like he's going to get hurt by this. They're going to generally enjoy this kind of bluster. So that's another reason why there's not much downside from his point of view in doing it.
So just to give you some information about, the governance of Greenland. So it was a Danish colony. It's still considered a Danish territory. However, in the late 1970s, Denmark allowed for Greenland to form its own autonomous government. So it does have its own autonomous government. So with that in mind, let's talk a little bit about what the motivations are here. Why is Trump so obsessed with acquiring Greenland? Well, let's start off with the minerals that Greenland has.
Why are we having a serious conversation about this right now? I don't understand. If Donald Trump was talking about colonizing Jupiter, would we be talking about the pros and cons of sending an expedition to the gas giants? Like, well, I don't understand. Like, this is just so insane to me. Like, I feel like Biden could come out on stage tomorrow and Biden could say, hey, Jack, Israel and Palestine have agreed to a one-state solution, and they've all agreed to live in harmony. I got a signature from every single Muslim, every single Jew, and they're all happy. And I feel like Cenk and Anna would be on live, immediately reacting. Why did this fucking take so long? How many Palestinians had to die for Biden to drag his fucking feet on this fucking peace deal? Why was it so fucking long? But meanwhile, Donald Trump is like, we're going to invest $100 trillion going to Saturn. And they're like, it does have really pretty rings.
Greenland is rich in valuable minerals, many of which Elon Musk is interested in, including rare earth metals, precious stones, coal, graphite, and uranium. Its rare earth resources would rank in the top 5 worldwide if developed, the International Trade Association reported. I'm sure they did. Sources.
I'm so curious about this if developed thing. I wonder how much work this is doing here. When it comes to resource extraction, there's a whole thing in terms of like what makes a thing profitable. There are other people are going to know more about this than me, but there's like how accessible are these? So they might be in an area that would require so much money and energy to extract, it's just not worth it. How far away are they from like utilization like areas? So like when you extract material, you've got to refine it. How heavy is it? How much is it going to be to ship it? Setting up the extraction process itself. How many people do you have to ship out there and employ? Like what's the climate like? What kind of technologies are even available to you to begin that work? So I don't. Maybe there are a ton of resources there. I'm not sure, but there's more that goes into proven reserves or whatever than just it's there somewhere.
Would rank in the top 5 worldwide if developed, the International Trade Association reported. I'm sure they did. Now, if is important here because, according to Reuters, development of Greenland's mining sector has been snarled in red tape and opposition from indigenous people. This has kept Greenland's economy reliant on fishing, which accounts for over 95% of exports and annual subsidies from Denmark, which cover roughly half the public budget. So make no mistake, I mean, the interest that Donald Trump and Elon Musk have in regard to acquiring Greenland has to do with its minerals, with the natural resources available. But even if some way, somehow, Greenland agrees to allowing the United States government to purchase Greenland and make it part of the United States, you still have indigenous people there who have been fighting back against efforts to mine those minerals. Some of Greenland's minerals could also be used to build electric cars and renewable batteries, which...
Why do you act like... Why are you acting like Elon Musk is pressuring Donald Trump to go after Greenland? This is not happening. I'm so sorry, but this is not happening. Why is this is this a serious newscast right now, or is it like April 1st? And what do we talk? This is just not a conversation that happened where Elon and the donors are like, Trump, Greenland, baby. Or actually, I take that back. It could be a conversation that had happened. But if it is, it's just to distract Trump from what they really want to get done, from what their actual agenda is. This is so crazy. It's so funny. Prediction for the next 4 years. I'm going to have the appearance of swapping completely with every single conservative. I'm about to become the most like government skeptical person ever, because now I know people like Elon and Vivek are in Trump's ear, and you've got these crazies heading up all these federal agencies, and then you've got, if they do like their Schedule F shit, you've got actual executive sycophants now that are staffing out all these government departments, and then all the conservatives are about to become the most like, you don't trust the EPA, bro? Come on, man. It's RFK. He's a Kennedy, bro. This guy doesn't know health. This guy literally had a pathogen communicating directly to his brain. How are you going to tell me this guy doesn't know what's good for it? Come on, dude. He just wants to get rid of red dye number 12 and toxic metals and microplastics in your balls. Conservatives are about to become the most institutionally trustful people in the universe. And we're going to hear a billion times, I thought Destiny said to blindly trust the FBI and blindly trust the FDA, and now he wants to be skeptical. Wahaha.
I think there's a huge issue with electric cars, and I know people are going to get upset with me, but like we talk about electric cars like they're totally benign for the environment, but you got to remember, you got to do mining, okay, to get the minerals necessary, the materials necessary to build those batteries. And so I am concerned about the possibility of these resources being cited as a reason to go to war with other countries. So just wait for that. But nonetheless, obviously, Elon Musk is interested in this. And as for the military argument, Greenland has strategic significance for the United States military.
Like the real story here, in my opinion, the real story here is Angela Merkel said something that was a little bit spooky, which was that the rest of the world can no longer rely on U.S. leadership, or at least maybe she said what? Maybe she said Europe can no longer rely on U.S. leadership in 2016, I think, 2017. The story should be, what place does America have in the world? Like, what does it mean when the incoming president is threatening war with allies of one of the probably largest and most successful and expansive military treaties in world history? Like, that's not healthy. It's not good.
And its ballistic missile early warning system, since the shortest route from Europe to North America runs via the Arctic island. Now, currently, the United States military does, in fact, have an airbase in Greenland, but they want more. So the U.S. has expressed interest in a greater military presence, including placing radars in Greenland to monitor the waters between the island, Iceland, and Britain that are a gateway for Russian Navy vessels and nuclear submarines. And so Trump, if you guys can remember, did attempt to buy Greenland back in 2019. That's why I keep, referencing his first administration. But even at that time, both Greenland and Denmark rejected the offer.
When you say did attempt to buy it, you're making it sound like he was like swiping his credit card at the checkout and it was denied. I think he just like floated this idea publicly. I don't know if he ever seriously pursued this.
It seems possible that Trump would try again, and right-wing media appears to be completely on board for it, to your point, Cenk. So let's take a look at what they have to say.
Well, I think from a national security perspective, as he said, certainly a place that is very rich in minerals and, is geopolitically important for him. And it's a conversation that we want to have with Denmark about being able to use the resources up there.
Yeah, it's going to cost about $1.5 trillion, but it probably will pay off.
Everybody would like to buy Greenland, but
why are we giving price tags for what are we doing? Why is this a real conversation right now? Why are we talking about it like this?
are we going to take it by force?
I don't know. We could. There's not that many people there. But I don't think we should have to. And here's why we should want it.
Wait, is this a guy who says dumb things to the other? Was her name Rachel? What was the name of the Economist person? Is he the same guy that says stupid things to her? Yes. This guy is like always, he's always like the best for the dumbest talking points.
Pay off.
Everybody would like to buy Greenland, but are we going to take it by force?
I don't know. We could. There's not that many people there. But I don't think we should have to. And here's why we should want it. They got rare earth minerals. We already have some kind of a space base there. And it would fortify us against the Russians.
I kind of like the idea, maybe you'll join me, of Greenland, Canada, joining the U.S. I think we should invite them in.
It's great for business. It's great for my investments.
for Greenland and Canada joining the U.S., it's a little bit insulting. And maybe some people are just so used to the trauma of being U.S. territories that they just don't even think about it anymore. But imagine you're Puerto Rican, or imagine you're from D.C., whose license plates, I think, literally say no taxation without representation. And you hear all this talk about turning Canada or Mexico into another state. Also, remember all of the fear about demographic shift. I don't want 100 million Mexicans coming to my country and shifting our demographics. Then why would you want to annex Mexico? What are you doing? Unless the approach is literally, her name is Catherine Rempel. Thank you. Unless the approach is literally, this is all 100% a meme. But is all of it just a meme then? So is nothing he says serious? Like, what are we memeing about? Like a meme, like jokes have reasons for them. Like, what's the meme?
And look, I mean, you could have a trade deal with Greenland if you're interested in their minerals and their natural resources. Taking Greenland by force sounds like a bad idea, but they have been part of Denmark for 600 years, as I had mentioned earlier.
Sounds like a bad idea.
And even though they're a colony of Denmark, they do have their own government and own governance. Jake.
All right, Andy Mion 2300 is a YouTube member who wrote in and said, we'll treat Greenland as well as we treat Puerto Rico. Wait, okay. But it's funny that you wrote that in because I was thinking earlier today, okay, let's say the outrageous, outlandish hypothetical that we buy Greenland, right? Well, you're gonna want to keep the states even, right? So maybe we bring in Greenland and Puerto Rico at the same time and make them now 52 states, right? But that's all fanciful, right? That's very, very, very unlikely. And look, the most important point is, I don't want this land acquisition anymore. The fight over land has been the bane of human existence. No, I want the land. I want the land. I'm going to murder you for the land. No, I'm going to murder you for the land. So it always starts out with, oh yeah, sure, it'll be amiable. Well, it doesn't always start out that way. Oftentimes it starts out with blood. But in this case,
he meant amenable, right?
Sometimes it ends amiable. Like I said, the Alaska Purchase and the Louisiana Purchase. But oftentimes what that devolves into is I'm going to take it by force and I'm going to kill as many people as I need to. I hate it. I hate it when Russia does it. I hate it when Israel does it. And I certainly don't want America to do it. And it's antithetical to who we are.
Well,
okay.
Canada. At first I wanted it, and I tried to divide it into 2 states. And then I realized we'd be adding Montana, basically, for the Republicans, and electorally like a Texas for the Democrats. And I don't like that. But the fact that they don't want us to take them over makes me want to invade. I want to quench my imperialist thirst. Canada.
Okay. Like, it would be funny if they wouldn't actually support it if it would happen. Like, they would actually support it. If Donald Trump did it, we know that. We've already seen it. We've seen how much positions have changed on the Iraq war on the Republican side. We've seen how much difference there was between Obama attacking Syria and Trump attacking Syria for the same reason. No support on the Republican side for Obama doing it, like 92% support for the Republicans doing it. We saw that like 90% plus trusted the elections in 2024, and it was like 24% or 27% trusted the elections in 2020. Like they would support it. They're joking about it, but it's not a joke, right?
Let's run a quick scenario, okay? I will be the boss, and
this is how Trump negotiates with people.
You will come to me for a raise. Go.
Sir, I was wondering if I could have a raise.
I'm listening.
Well, I've been a top performing salesman at the company for the last 3 years. I'm the first one in it.
Okay, stop. It's done.
Really?
On one condition.
Sure, what's that?
You tell my family I love them. If I give you this pay raise, it'll come out of my paycheck, which means I won't be able to provide for my family the way I want to, and I can't live with that. So,
Wait, I want the raise, it's fine. Just put it down. I don't want the raise. I don't want the raise, it's fine.
See what I did there, guys? I negotiated with death. DuPont executive approach to higher salaries.
Former Congressman Matt.
Shut up. Did you message Dr. Mike on Instagram? I sure did.
Getting totally nuked by Destiny's community. Awesome.
Who is? What?
Awesome.
Oh, I didn't even finish watching that Zuckerberg video. Oh, God. Fuck, what was the link to it? That he said he was gonna... He's moving the moderation team to Texas? Oh...
Everyone. For a while, the community asked to see less politics because it was making people stressed, so we stopped recommending these posts. But it feels like we're in a new era now, and we're starting to get feedback that people want to see this content again. So we're going to start phasing this back into Facebook, Instagram, and Threads while working to keep the communities friendly and positive. Fifth, we're going to move our trust and safety and content moderation teams out of California, and our US-based content review is going to be based in Texas. As we work to promote free expression, I think that it will help us build trust to do this work in places where there is less concern about the bias of our teams. Finally, we're going to work with President Trump to push back on governments around the world that are going after American companies and pushing to censor more. The US has the strongest constitutional protections for free expression in the world. Europe has an ever-increasing number of laws institutionalizing censorship and making it difficult to build anything innovative there. Where there's less concern about the...
What is the significance of moving to Texas? I don't really get it, but I'm definitely missing something. Texas is seen as like the... you remember when the Protoss and the Zerg were being bred into hybrids by that one Narud dude for the fucking Zelnaga or whatever bullshit? Austin and Texas is seen as like new MAGA, kind of. They represent like the cutting edge MAGA ideology that's also like cool and hip with all like the Austin podcasters and everything. And Texas is like, they're not just country. They're country with laptops. They're cowboys with computers. They're serious MAGA with iPhones and AirPods. It's just like that's just like what Texas has kind of become the symbol of, basically.
The bias of our teams. Finally, we're going to work with President Trump to push back on governments around the world that are going after American companies and pushing to censor more. The US has the strongest constitutional protections for free expression in the world. Europe has an ever-increasing number of laws institutionalizing censorship and making it difficult to build anything innovative there.
Like, what is this? Like, what? What are we talking about?
Latin American countries have secret courts that can order companies to quietly take things down.
You ever heard of a little thing called the Patriot Act? Or like, what do you mean? Well, like, what do we... I also really don't like... this is just my anti-American bias showing. I really don't like it when Americans, like, say Europe, like European countries, or like Latin America, or like... What do you... Give me some examples. Which country are you talking about? Because these countries are different. Which countries are you talking about? Give me an example of what you're talking about. Like...
For a while...
This was a thing for X a while back. Yes, I know. He's talking specifically about the reference is the... oh, was it Bolivia? Somebody went after Elon Musk on X for some particular thing. I don't remember what it was about, but it was asked... Oh, was it Brazil?
The community asked to see less politics because it was making people stressed. So we stopped recommending these posts. But it feels like we're in a new era now, and we're starting to get feedback that people want to see this content again. So we're going to start phasing this back into Facebook, Instagram, and Threads while working to keep the communities friendly and positive. Fifth, we're going to move our trust and safety and content moderation teams out of California, and our US-based content review is going to be based in Texas. As we work to promote free expression, I think that it will help us build trust to do this work in places where there is less concern about the bias of our teams. Finally, we're going to work...
Like, that's... Oh, so if you just... So you can't have it... What is the implicit message there? Any team in California is just not trustworthy in tech anymore? Is that the implied bias?
work in places where there's less concern about the bias of our teams. Finally, we're going to work with President Trump to push back on governments around the world that are going after American companies and pushing to censor more. The US has the strongest constitutional protections for free expression in the world. Europe has an ever-increasing number of laws institutionalizing censorship and making it difficult to build anything innovative there. Latin American countries have secret courts that can order companies to quietly take things down. China has censored our apps from even working in the country. The only way that we can push back on this global trend is with the support of the US government. And that's why it's been so difficult over the past 4 years when even the US government has pushed for censorship. By going after us and other American companies, it has emboldened other governments to go even further.
He's such a coward. God, he's such a fucking coward. This is the most like rent-seeking, profiteering, like spineless, fuck me, dude.
But now we have the opportunity to restore free expression, and I'm excited to take it. It'll take time to get this right, and these are complex systems. They're never going to be perfect. There's also a lot of illegal stuff that we still need to work very hard to remove. But the bottom line is that after years of having our content moderation work focused primarily on removing content, it is time to focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our systems, and getting back to our roots about giving people voice. I'm looking forward to this next chapter. Stay good out there, and more to come soon.
He hired Dana White to look over it? Yeah. You should watch Asmongold react to this. His flit on how he felt about Facebook changed with every word. Oh, I think I was watching this when I was working last night. I was doing I had it playing in the background. I think I typed in chat a little bit. I think I could only stomach like 10 minutes. Asmongold is just like a full-on like crazy mega reactionary person now. That's all that's his channel is just like he's just full MAGA basically. I don't know why I just typed in Asmongold MAGA. It's fucking my brain.
There's me right there.
Oh, I watched this. How far did I make it? I made it 12 minutes and I couldn't do it anymore. Can you please explain what was so wrong about what Zuck said? Yeah, so Zuckerberg, I guess maybe you just don't realize it if you're on the left or if you're not like super politically plugged in, but all of this messaging is like messaging for MAGA basically. Like all of this messaging is basically saying like, I am going to be a loyal Trump subject. Like that's what this is for. So like,
I want to talk about something important today because it's time to get back to our roots around free expression on Facebook and Instagram. I started building social media to give people a voice. I gave a speech at Georgetown 5 years ago about the importance of protecting free expression, and I still believe this today. But a lot has happened over the last several years. There's been widespread debate about potential harms from online content. Governments and legacy media have pushed to censor more and more. A lot of this is clearly political.
So governments and legacy media
have pushed to censor more and
more. So this is an attack on the left mainstream media, and it's an attack on Biden's administration, right? And we know because of the Twitter files, right? Even though none of that actually proved any of that, but
more. A lot of this is clearly political, but there's also a lot of legitimate.
A lot of this is clearly political in nature, right? Remember, all of the censorship and everything done, none of it was done in good faith. None of it was done because people were trying to figure out, what's appropriate, what's not appropriate. None of it was done because of any concept of reducing harm, even if misguided or incorrect. All of this was done just to be, political in nature. That's it.
But there's also a lot of legitimately bad stuff out there: drugs, terrorism, child exploitation.
I don't know how conspiratorial I want to be, but I'll go maximum conspiracy because at this point, these guys are all, it's literally a conspiracy. These people are all now working together, right? Drugs, terrorism, and child exploitation, all of these things just feel like virtue signaling to the right. They don't like drugs, obviously. Terrorism is spooky, obviously. Child exploitation is this huge, weird, conservative, obsessive talking point over illegal immigration. What was that stupid, the movie they made? Was it The Sound of Freedom? Is that what I'm thinking of? Like, these are all like friendly MAGA talking points, basically.
These are things that we take very seriously, and I want to make sure that we handle responsibly. So we built a lot of complex systems to moderate content. But the problem with complex systems is they make mistakes. Even if they accidentally censor just 1% of posts, that's millions of people. And we've reached a point where it's just too many mistakes and too much censorship. The recent elections also feel like a cultural...
Too many mistakes and too much censorship. Notice how like the explanation that he just gave there doesn't like really qualify for the loaded censorship he's using. Like if he had a moderating thing that was making mistakes, would we call that censorship? Maybe in effect, but I don't think we would describe it as such. But this is the signaling is important. That was censorship, political censorship, right?
Actions also feel like a cultural tipping point towards once again prioritizing speech. So we're going to get back to our roots and focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our policies, and restoring free expression on our platforms.
Free expression and freedom of speech is always the calling card for conservatives. When they say freedom of expression and freedom of speech, they just mean that they don't want to get banned no matter what. That's always the calling card for that.
Specifically, here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to get rid of fact checkers and replace them with community notes.
So fact checkers are seen as bad because the Trump administration lies so much, and because conservative and MAGA are kind of in a different world. All fact checkers are seen as being politically biased, right? They're all liberal, they're all crazy, they're all wacky. This is just nobody on the right likes fact checkers anymore. Community notes are based, because Elon Musk did them, on X. That's it.
Similar to X, starting in the US. After Trump first got elected in 2016, the legacy media wrote nonstop about how misinformation was a threat to democracy. We tried in good faith to address those concerns without becoming the arbiters of truth. But the fact checkers have just been too politically biased and have destroyed more trust than they've created, especially...
So common talking point. Okay, well, sure, maybe this is the Russian propaganda, right? Sure, maybe Trump does lie and the Republicans do lie sometimes, sure, but so does the left. The left lies, and how are we supposed to trust you when you guys have messed up? You guys have made mistakes, so it's destroying the trust. Remember, the trust is always destroyed by by somebody making a mistake, not by the other people who are obsessively talking about those mistakes over and 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 over again, right? It's always like the framing always lives how conservatives basically want the framing to live.
And have destroyed more trust than they've created, especially in the US. So over the next couple of months, we're going to phase in a more comprehensive community notes system. Second, we're going to simplify our content policies and get rid of a bunch of restrictions on topics like immigration and gender that are just out of touch with mainstream discourse.
So get rid of restrictions on topics like immigration and gender that are out of touch with mainstream discourse. Is you can go back to being super anti-immigrant and make fun of trans people, because we realize that like a lot of our users and a lot of conservatives want to do that, basically.
Just out of touch with mainstream discourse. What started as a movement to be more inclusive has increasingly been used to shut down opinions and shut out people with different ideas, and it's gone too far. So I want to make sure that people can share their beliefs and experiences on our platforms. Third, we're changing how we enforce our policies to reduce the mistakes that account for the vast majority of censorship on our platforms. We used to have filters that stand for any policy violation. Now we're going to focus those filters on tackling illegal and high severity violations. And for lower severity violations, we're going to rely on someone reporting an issue before we take action. The problem is that the filters make mistakes, and they take down a lot of content that they should. So by dialing them back, we're going to dramatically reduce the amount of censorship on our platforms.
This change isn't necessarily bad, I don't think. I don't think there's anything being signaled there.
We're also going to tune our content filters to require much higher confidence before taking down content. The reality is that this is a trade-off. It means we're going to catch less bad stuff, but we'll also reduce the number of innocent people's posts and accounts that we accidentally take down. Fourth, we're bringing back civic content. For a while, the community asked to see less politics because it was making people stressed, so we stopped recommending these posts. But it feels like we're in a new era now, and we're starting to get feedback that people want to see this content again. So we're going to start phasing this back into Facebook, Instagram, and Threads while working to keep the communities friendly and positive. Fifth, we're going to move our trust and safety and content moderation teams out of California, and our US-based content review is going to be based in Texas.
So Texas is the new base place. It's where all the cool podcasts are. Austin is just like the new awesome conservative place to be. And California is woke and stupid and lame and trans and not good. So this is just a...
As we work to promote free expression, I think that will help us build trust to do this work in places where there's less concern about the bias of our teams.
Because if you're in California, you can't possibly be unbiased. You're going to be always like a crazy woke SJW cuck.
Finally, we're going to work with President Trump to push back on governments around the world that are going after American companies and pushing to censor more.
These are just companies that have been mean to Elon Musk. We're going to fight them alongside Trump to help defend our fellow billionaires in the United States.
The US has the strongest constitutional protections for free expression in the world. Europe has an ever-increasing number of laws institutionalizing censorship and making it difficult to build anything innovative there.
Europe is cringe. European restrictions on tech and what they did to Apple and the poor USB-C port and everything else is like cringe and evil and mean, and we need to fight back against the Europeans.
Latin American countries have secret courts that can order companies to quietly take things down. China has censored apps from even working in the country. The only way that we can push back on this global trend is with the support of the US government. And that's why it's been so difficult over the past 4 years when even the US government has pushed for censorship.
Remember, Biden bad, Democrats bad. The Democrats and Biden have pushed for censorship. Very bad, not good.
But going after us and other American companies.
No, going after us and going after other American companies. I don't even know what that means. How many people has Trump sued at this point?
It has emboldened other governments to go even further. But now we...
Because the Biden administration was... I don't even know what they did, actually. I don't know what it could be referring to. Somehow companies in the United States censoring people on COVID or immigration, misinformation, or whatever, has emboldened other governments to take bad actions against
companies. It has emboldened other governments to go even further. But now we have the opportunity to restore free expression, and I'm excited to take it. It'll take time to get this right, and these are complex systems. They're never going to be perfect. There's also a lot of illegal stuff that we still need to work very hard to remove. But the bottom line is that after years of having our content moderation work focus primarily on removing content, it is time to focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our systems, and getting back to our roots about giving people voice. I'm looking forward to this next chapter. Stay good out there, and more to come soon.
Do you think he's legitimately MAGA or just trying to compete with X and being the based right platform? It's probably just trying to get concessions from Trump and trying to get more crazy conservatives onto the platform, basically. But, I mean, it's kind of... I mean, the effect is going to be the same regardless. What is this?
Oh, dude, Elon! Oh, Elon! Elon! I just want to see what level is this guy, and what league is he playing? Is he actually playing hardcore? All right, okay, scrolling around. All right, ooh, big juice, huge juice. 2 T15 maps, an ID gear in his bag. Oh, he's going. Oh shit, Hoa gloves, bro. He must be Trade League, right? Elon's maps. What about the maps in the inventory, bro? Wait, what? What? What about the maps in his inventory? He's trying to click. Let's grayed out. He's not played this before, has he? Bro, he's not played this game before, has he? He's 100% getting piloted. He isn't. What? He's got the maps in his inventory. He went out and grabbed the map.
Someone at level 96 has died at position 20 on the ladder, so it's really tough. That would have taken a long time to get to level 96, and that player would have been very good. And someone, like the game, like actually mentions, like when people die on the hardcore ladder.
Oh, is this Elon playing? Is this Elon Musk playing through? Like, is he streaming or what? What is he? Is he like streaming on Twitch or something or what? He was streaming. Okay.
Bro,
oh, on Twitter. My bad. I forget that you can fucking do that.
There's no way you are not leaving chaos orbs on AC Trade. AC Trade chaos orbs are valuable. Nah, this is a bot account, bro. He has no idea what he's doing. He literally has no idea what he's doing.
Wait, is this on controller? Is this like a PS5 or something, or?
He literally has no clue what he's doing. Like this is just straight up account sharing. He picked up his first thing, which is a map. He's a new gamer. What I'm saying is like, well, no, he's not got Hoa gloves. He's not got this.
They added WASD. Okay. Is that how you normally move in Path of Exile? I feel like you didn't use it, but maybe you didn't. I don't remember. I feel like you didn't, but...
Build. He's not doing any of this.
This is going to be spicy.
He's clearly played and understands the mechanics, though, like the basic mechanics. But dude, you're not playing to this point in the game with no loot filter, leaving chaos orbs on the ground. You're not playing to this point in the game. You are not playing this point. He literally didn't know how to open a map. He was keep clicking repeatedly. He couldn't open the map. He knows. Okay, he knows. He knows about the bosses. He knows about breach hands. Okay, boss fight. Here we go. You gonna put down the bell? He does drop the bell. He is. Yeah, he's clearly played the character. So there's clearly got hours on. He has hours of playtime. He's not pressing his mana flask though. He's not pressing his mana flask. He's not pressing his mana flask. He's not pressing his mana flask. Now he pressed it. He pressed his mana flask.
This is the point of beliefs.
He does. That's the one thing he picks up his maps. Or he tries to. What's he gonna do? Oh, he's still clicking. Dude, what is he doing?
Oh man. Why would you stream this? It's because none of it matters.
He's dragging them over, bro. What? No, dude, he's dragging the maps over. He's dragging, bro. It's Joe Biden playing. What the fuck? Nah, bro. You don't need to have someone pilot your account. It would be so much cooler if he was just like in campaign, just kind of learning the game. Thing is, what pisses me off is he was in that Joe Rogan podcast where you link me the clips, chat link me. Actually playing deep.
And Snoop Dogg was streaming that dog shit survival game while quote playing end quote.
I'm surprised.
This is max difficulty on hardcore.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Oh no! Why? Why did you say? This is the max. It doesn't get any harder than this, kid. You don't know max difficulty. Hardcore. You don't even know what hardcore means.
Sure, with no live filter, and you just leaving fucking.
If there's a way to get higher difficulty, I don't know what it is, but is everything maxed out?
Okay. No.
What? I'm sorry. I only played PoE 1. Are there other things you can max out in PoE 2? What does that even fucking mean? Everything max out. What is that a thing in Path of Exile 2? Or is he just running the hardest maps with every modifier so he dies instantly? What does that even mean? No. Okay. What?
Oh.
Why does he keep bringing up the ladder, the fact that it's hardcore and that it's maxed out? Does this actually work on people? Do they say it for Diablo?
Elon Musk is the top Diablo player in North America, right? Which
I think in the world, dude.
In the world.
I think he's the number one in the world, which is fucking insane. It seems so unlikely that if it was in a movie, I'd go, shut the fuck up. He's not the number one Diablo player. I don't care how smart he is with rockets and electric cars and satellites that give broadband internet and tunneling under the earth, and also owns X.
It's suspicious, I must say.
And he's tweeting 48 times an hour. He's so prolific.
Well,
it's like, where's your head?
Oh my God! Look at him go. He's popping off.
Big dick. Max difficulty hardcore, brother.
How do you see chat? Is there a way to see? Like, how do you see chat? He renamed his entire online identity around PoE 2.
Why?
And he keeps talking PoE.
Like, he doesn't even play that much. Why would he do that?
But he doesn't even play PoE 2. He just logs into some other guy's account and plays it for like an hour every now and then.
This is like some of the most loser behavior ever that you could ever engage in. But it's not even like ordinary loser behavior. This is like compulsive liar loser behavior. Like, I could understand if a streamer or somebody did this because your reputation might rely a little bit on you being good at games, right? So streamers would get people to boost their accounts, or they would hack. That makes sense, at least, if you're a gamer or a streamer. Sure, I get it. But Elon is just, he's a business owner. No one cares. No one, like, seriously is going to look down on you for not being the rank 1 whatever fucking person of all. Like, dude. These guys ate up the Diablo meme as well? Oh, during that Dave Rubin thing?
He has 20 other jobs, at least. The guy is literally sending us to Mars. He's building tunnels under LA.
He's the top player of Diablo,
like,
too.
Yeah, he's right. He's
the
number
one player in the world.
Is he literally the top player?
No, he's not the top player.
Yeah.
He did actually recently speedrun something and set the world record in Diablo, but I think that he's officially top 20 leaderboard in the world.
Like, this would be like me going onto their, although I'm not even sure if they do finance after listening to Dave Rubin combo. This would be like me going onto their finance podcast and be like, oh yeah, like, I really like you guys to have an uncle who traded stocks. And they'll be like, what do you mean uncle? It's like, I have an uncle who traded stocks for probably like 7 or 8 years. He always beat the market. He knew how to beat the market all the time. And it was just crazy that, he was just like a constant, like, basically I would say 95+% of his trades were profitable. And he just always like knew what the market was going to do. Like, it's the equivalent of saying something that unbelievably stupid, like,
which is insanely competitive. Well, because he's you have people that dedicate their lives to Diablo.
That's not insanely competitive. That's impossible. Like, speedrunners spend thousands, tens of thousands sometimes of autistic hours on these games. And the idea that some random, like, 92-year-old fat fuck could just pick up a controller like, world record.
Diablo.
Right.
Probably thousands, tens of thousands of people, and he has all of these lives and jobs, and still he's top 20.
Well, I can tell you a story, not about Diablo specifically, but maybe a little bit about his psyche that might explain that, because the first time that I met him was right after he bought Twitter. So it was about 2 weeks after he bought Twitter.
Like, what are you doing? Who is he convincing? I mean, I guess you're convincing NPCs. The thing is, if you didn't play PoE 2, would you think this is like a top gamer? Why does he need to do this?
I guess because it's just like a bunch of explosions on the screen, right?
Wouldn't it be so much
like this is literally true, actually true. We're having this moment right now. We're doing this right now.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
And so then the state becomes your daddy, and then the state decides that, you know, like in the case of North Korea, that its daddy is super powerful and plays golf better than anybody that's ever lived. You ever read the account of Kim Jong-un playing golf?
No, but I know like him and Dennis Rodman
about
were boys.
Oh, what's
I read something about it that it might be just a misinterpretation that got way blown out of proportion.
Sounds like Jamie works for the state.
No, there's a way to keep score where you're not writing down the actual number you got. You're just writing down relative to par.
He had 11 holes in one, bro.
That's not how. That's just someone read the score wrong and it got reported that way. Is how I read this interpretation.
But that was the interpretation of the glowing media coverage in the North Korean news, wasn't it?
I read through this in like a golf magazine. Expose.
Golf magazine getting paid off.
It just made more sense when it was written that way. Is all. He got to score way more accurately. That he should have like 120 or something like that.
I don't know what that means since I don't play golf, but
his holes in one would have been one over rather than an actual one. That's how they were writing the score down. That's all I'm trying to say.
So what was that? The depiction that we read.
So then someone saw that score.
North Korea.
Yeah.
You want to talk about a lady who just doesn't want to hear any bullshit? Can you layout where the deer leader allegedly shot his 34. The fields in the annual handicapped event are fairly small. Most of golfers struggle to break 90.
So it goes on and explains how he talked to some people there. They explained to him that there was a scorekeeping shorthand that is used there, and then
there's a whole bunch of like stories about because I believe in North Korea, I think the supreme leader is supposed to be like a god, right? Like they believe that he's literally like a deity or whatever. And so there's just like crazy stories of all of his feats of insane like athletic prowess or crazy just whatever stupid things. And but I mean outside of North Korea, you know this is like bullshit, right? But now we're having that with Donald Trump getting shot in the head and standing up in 15 seconds, and Elon Musk being a professional world like top rank 1 ladder gamer.
It's cooler if he was just like in the campaign and be like, yeah, I've been playing PoE 2, this is my guy, and it's like kind of shit or whatever, but like who cares? He's having a good time. He's saying, man, I love gaming. I've related to that so much more. I'd be like, damn, that's crazy to get time that like versus like doing this. Like a facade. Doesn't have time? Yep, doesn't. What do you mean? It's gonna be he's circumventing the reward loop and he's killing the fun of the game for himself. For what? Just so he can say he's good at the game whenever he's not? I don't care that he misspoke there. This is
also what a worthless game to have somebody bot an account for you, or not bot, but like level an account up. Like
obviously a tier 16 plus 2. This is a tier 18. So if he was actually gaming, he would know that it's a tier 18. But he just said it's a map with 4 things on it. This is weird. It's a weird vibe, and I don't understand it. Bro, even the transparency setting on his map. Like, that's just a obvious giga red flag. Literally the transparency setting on his map. Like, the fact that he's got, it's... Look at his map, right? Like, dude, I can't.
All right. The key to survival is just don't get surrounded and trapped in a group of monsters. Those are my skills, basically. More gems and skills. Blink is key. But I wasn't using Blink before when Kekius died. I wasn't using Blink properly, and I wasn't using Meditate properly. So.
Kekius died. Like, dude, the person who levels his guys, like, how many times does he have to level up? Elon, please don't log in. Proof he shares. He hovers over his gear.
Okay, fine. It is pretty great gear. It's could be better, but it's pretty great.
Oh, well, okay. I mean, it's an advanced barrier. Okay, with the tank.
What's weird is he actually has some knowledge of the game. I think Elon plays, but it's actually bad. That's not weird at all. That makes sense. That's what most people would to pay to get an account boosted. Yeah, you'd have some. I'm sure he's played before. Obviously, he can play, but he's clearly not that good. He's just like but that's also acceptable, by the way, too. And if anything, if he can laugh at himself a little bit, especially because it's like an arena that doesn't matter at all to him. Like he could just have like dad playing, like dad plays PoE 2, and you just kind of like laugh at it a little bit. It's whatever. But why would he have to act like he's a rank 1 ladder grinder?
Big crit damage, crit bonus. Okay. Yeah, just 200 divided with 2.7. Okay.
All right. So you can see like this is a great staff, but it's only a level 62 staff. Like it's actually very hard to get equipment in hardcore. So
What? Is the solo self-fund and all that, the settings are all still the same in PoE 2, and it's still beta, right? Or alpha? What did people say? He plays trade. It's trade league. Oh, then it's not. I just don't want to make any assumptions about PoE 2 that weren't the case for PoE 1. Why would it be? Is it harder to get? He said what? So I'm guessing this is probably just bullshit. It's probably retarded.
Why did you make TTS? Level 95. But my staff is only level 62. So I haven't been able to find a better staff.
Okay, dude. I'm level 95. The star was only 62. I mean, he should say it's an advanced one. Why isn't he saying it's advanced, bro? What does he say?
Not all of us spent high school in sweaty basements. Explain. It's just. If you develop competency in a given subject, you can tell immediately when somebody has no idea what they're talking about. Like, imagine, like, it can be very small things to where somebody might ask you, like, oh, you've got a good computer? Really? That's crazy. How much memory do you have on your computer? Like, that's just not like a question that anybody, how much memory? What do you mean hard drive space? Are you talking about your RAM? Why are you even asking that question? That's such a weird thing. That's like a boomer random thing to ask. Like, why would you say that? And this is true. This extends through. There might be little things like that. There could be bigger things. But it's just like, in watching him play, for video game stuff, a lot of it is going to be by looting. If you can have custom lists in Path of Exile 2, you used to be able, in PoE 1, you could upload things that would just, it wouldn't even show you like bad drops. I don't know if you can do that in PoE 2 or not, but like the way that somebody loots in a video game will usually tell you instantly if at least they know what they're doing or not, right? So unless PoE 2 is somehow significantly different, when you watch a good player play, what's that one shooter game that everybody obsessed over? Mag check. What am I thinking of? Tarkov. Yeah. When you see somebody run over an item and they tab and they're like, you know, I don't even know what the fuck they just did. Or in Path of Exile 2, people immediately go, they know immediately what they need to loot. They know what items are valuable. They know what's not. They're not going to sit there and click and drag their thing over, like their staff to the floor. Like they'll know the shortcuts and they'll move through menus and everything very fast. Because you've grinded these dungeons hundreds of thousands of times. So just watching him play, it's just very, very obvious that he's not a very great player, but he's representing an account that is like very highly ranked, but he's clearly not the one that played the account. Yeah.
Proof he shares. He hovers over his gear.
Okay, fine. It is pretty good gear. Just haven't been able to find it. My helmet is level 56.
Bro!
It's
400 ES, bro. He's got a 400 ES with Chaos Riz and Lightning Riz helmet, bro. I've been playing this game just fucking giga hard at minus 342, bro. I've been playing this game
I only played PoE 1, so I don't know other things, but like, I don't remember I think level on an item might be able to influence the magnitude or the range that the stats can be. But I think that once you're farming high-level gear, you're looking for certain attributes, and you're looking for them to be as high as possible. So saying that, like, oh, I have like a level 62 thing, that doesn't tell you anything. You could have rolled really well on really good attributes. You might have a lower-level item for a long time because you rolled sick on some really important attributes on it, right? So it's just kind of weird. And I think Quinn here is obviously, he's like I don't know if you would say pro or whatever. He's a streamer. He plays this game full-time. I don't know if they're pro PoE players or whatever. Quinn knows immediately, obviously, what are the good stats, what aren't the good stats, and how you'd represent a thing, right? Yeah. Like, imagine me saying that, like, I drive a Focus RS, and somebody's like, oh, well, I have an Audi R8. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure my Focus RS would smoke yours. And they're like, why? And it's like, I have 6 gears on my car. Doesn't the Audi R8 only have 5? It doesn't matter if I'm right or wrong. If the Audi R8 has 5 or 6 gears, that's just like such a, why do you think that matters? What do you mean it has 6 gears, a 6-speed, what? Like, it would be a thing where somebody's saying, like, that doesn't make any sense at all. I don't know why you would even
fucking giga hard at minus 342, bro. What is he even talking about? That's an insanely good helmet. No magic find though, bro. What's up? He's just the magic find because he's actually loot stuff.
My helmet is level 56.
They aren't even the item levels on the item. It's the level needed to equip that item. Oh wait. Oh god, is that what he's reading?
My helmet is level 56.
Oh.
Okay, he clearly has no idea what he's talking about, right?
Oh wait, no wait, I don't know. Item requirement can also change though. Like it's not locked to a particular type of item, right? The same item can have different requirements depending on the drop, right? I don't remember, bro. It's been a long time.
Okay, click.
Amulet level 61.
Bro.
Item level and level requirement are different. Oh, okay.
Bro, if he says this ring is bad, bro, I swear to God, bro.
Ring is only...
Isn't that only true once you hit level 60 or 80 or the max level? I don't remember.
Level 48.
There's a rarity in this one. Okay, all right.
49.
1.3k evasion. To be honest, that chest is kind of mid. Yeah, that chest is kind of mid. I got cash raise and 1.6k evasion.
Why would he do this? These things are hard for me to figure out because on one end I'd say you do things to intentionally mislead people, but like this. But now here for this, is he actually so narcissistic that he thinks he's a good player that nobody will notice? Because people can bullshit themselves into hacking or boosting. Like that's very, very, very easy to bullshit yourself. Once you go down that road of hacking, you could very easily convince yourself. I would be just as good as these people if I had the time to spend, or like my last death was bullshit. I got disconnected. If I wouldn't have been DC'd, then I would be just as high as these people. So like I should be able to pay for a booster. I've got a real life job. I can't grind like these no life kids. Like these guys probably hack too. Everybody boosts, everybody cheats. Like you can very easily bullshit yourself into that mentality. So he could just be really narcissistic and think, yeah, I don't know.
Like,
how does he think he could get away with it? Because one issue is that good people don't know how good a good player is. So they might actually think that they could get away with saying things like this. But the problem is it sounds like the knowledge that he's giving right now, though, is like even below what any online player would get. Like he sounds like a guy who downloaded PoE 2, has never watched a stream or YouTube video before, and has never gone on Reddit before, and is just kind of like reading through his personal grapplings with the game, but is also misrepresenting himself as like a rank 1 player.
Oh wait! His one's hybrid with ES! Are you kidding me, bro? What the fuck?
My guess is going to be, this is a total guess, and I can't know this. My guess is going to be Elon, if this isn't an SSF bullshit, if they can actually trade on this, Elon probably has sick gear because either one, he can buy it, or two, it's because he's telling the boosters of the people like, bro, I'm Elon, like give me some sick shit. Like I'm boosting this thing over Elon Musk. So of course he could have people who's like are trading him like sick fucking items and whatnot.
Are you kidding me, bro? What the fuck? Oh my god, this one's like twice as good as mine.
But what the fuck, bro? What the fuck is this?
At least a level 75 jacket. Yeah, level 52 here.
Bro, Elon Musk is a fucking fraud, bro. He's a fucking fraud. Why is he's a fucking fraud, bro? He just highlighted a Hoa and said level 52. I don't know what to tell you, man. I legitimately have no idea what the fuck he's on about. Legitimately. Like what? Like this is crazy.
Level 56.
30% movement speed, 100% ES. Bro, his gear is fucking cracked, bro. His gear is fucking
70.
cracked.
So it's like equipment's not like, it's actually pretty low level compared to my car.
Can you please word it more clearly? He's cheating for clout. Yeah, I guess. Sure. Here, if you're trying to get a physical version of what's happening, this is what's happening, okay? Did Putin ever do this, or was it, maybe it was just the one Steve Seagal. I don't remember if Putin had a demonstration. This is basically what he's doing. Did you deal with the same sort of thing with Athene in StarCraft 2? Yes, because I think Athene paid Kiwikaki to boost an account. Now, people had issues with that. I think I even had issues with it at the time. However, at the very least, one, Athene, at the very least, is like a known provocateur. So people were like, already had a reason to be suspicious. And Athene is like in the world of video games, so it would make sense for him to boost it and do it. But like, why does Elon need to be good at gaming?
Character level, but it seems to work pretty well.
It's because, like, the fucking eye level requirement really is not necessarily associated with how good the equipment is, and anyone who plays the game would understand that. You could have like a level 28 ring and it could be fucking crazy good, or you could have a fucking like a unique that's level 5 and it could be integral to your build, or perhaps your Hoa gloves that you said were only level 52, which are actually like hard carrying your fucking ass, bro. Holy fuck.
Elon doing the same thing. Oh no. Is there a video of this? I don't even want to see it. We might have watched this a long time ago, I don't remember. I don't care.
So, Elon Musk's full build is out, and it's even worse than I thought. In fact, it's so bad that I thought this was some sort of joke. His character's regular state is in fat roll mode. How does he fucking do it? Holy shit, this is bad. And look. He has 2 shields. For what reason would you ever need a second shield? Especially when the other one is worse. Also, let's chat about his weapon and talisman choices. He has Luzard's staff.
Wow, this guy sounds like a hater.
Which is good. Rajir's rapier, which is also pretty good. And a moonwell. Of course he would use a moonwell. And look at those talismans. He has Radagon's Sourceal, which is something that almost everyone has. Stamina Regen's talisman, which is very odd for a fat-rolling mage, but you know, each their own. Spell buff talisman, which makes sense for a spellcaster, but this isn't the better one. And
like, yeah, this doesn't, who cares about this? Like, you can have like a goofy-ass Elden Ring build. The problem with the Diablo stuff and the Path of Exile stuff is him trying to claim he's like a world top tier fucking gamer. That's like the cringe stuff. Like if he just wants to like do this shit, then who cares? Just, yeah. Listen, you should show Elon what it looks like for a non-gamer to play a game and become moderately good while also having fun. I think you should give PoE 2 a shot, or maybe just through FAC Games. I don't know what FAC Games makes, so your whole statement is invalid.
In the room, and
what is this?
When I got in there was a principal in the room, and this woman was in there, this older woman. She's going like this, you know, she's very unhappy. And I said, yeah, what's it? So they said, no, we got a problem with Elon. So I said, grade 2.
Elon is on a leaderboard for both games, isn't he? Elon has never been on a leaderboard for any game in his entire life, unless it's like a internal, like a LAN, like internal thing.
And when I got in there was a principal in the room, and this woman was in there, this older woman. She's going like this, you know, she's very unhappy. And I said, yeah, what's it? So they said, no, we got a problem with Elon. So I said, grade 2. So I said, you know, what's the problem?
Wait a second. Does this guy right here kind of look like the Winston guy from John Wick.
Grade 2. So I said, the grade 2. So I said, you know, what's the problem? You know, worrying now that he said something bad. They said, no, we think he's retarded.
Jeez.
No, that's the word they used. I said, retarded. They said, yes. And then the teacher, I said, what do you mean? So the teacher said, no, he doesn't listen in class. He just looks out the window all the time. Just looks out the window. And then when I talk to him, then he doesn't even respond. He just sits staring out the window. So we think he's retarded. So I said, really? Because I knew he wasn't retarded. So the teacher said, yes. I would even go up to him and I shake him on the shoulder. And then eventually he turns around, you know, say, what? And one time, she said, yesterday, when I shook him on the shoulder, he turned around and he said, the trees are turning green. You know, obviously it's spring or something. You know? And so they came to the conclusion he's retarded. So then we didn't know what to do. We're sitting in the room there.
Okay.